Okay, hey, it's good to see you seeing us,
That's right.
watching us with Wednesday night recap. And we finished tonight, we finished session number 2. Saw the video, had a great discussion time, and it covered the Naturalist and
The Sensate.
the Sensate and the Traditionalist.
Not the Sensei.
Yeah,
The
that's what I-
Sensate. Yes.
Yeah, and we'll get into that in a minute. But I just wanted to say the backdrop for this week is the same as last week, and that's where I started my first church in Barre, Massachusetts. And we met right there in the town hall, right there somewhere behind you. And I don't know how much of it you're blocking. We won't know till we see it. But no, it was great. Really, again, I can't stress how liberating it is to know that it's okay to not pray just one way. You know, that you have a natural inclination that God's given you, as just because you're unique yourself.
Yeah.
And boy, that really came out tonight discussing these three.
I feel like Jody had mentioned it further in, was that you're not, when you're in your comfort zone, if that's how we put it, you're not becoming that. It just feels so natural to you.
Yeah.
And that's why it feels so comforting and so close to God, because that's how you function best.
But again, though, I wished I'd learned this
No.
40
right.
years ago.
Yeah.
You know, I guess I've been a Christian like 46 years. I wish I learned it 46 years ago. And 48 years. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
48 years ago. Because I've always done the legalistic thing of being on your knees and eyes closed and hands together and just praying a whole hour out of obligation.
I think part of that is the styles that get traction are the styles of people that write books.
Right.
And when they write books,
right.
not many people are writing books about experiencing God in nature. They're, traditionally writing books how to do it in how to connect with God in a specific way. And that as pastors, and as Christians in general, there's always books on prayer, E.M. Bounds, all kinds of different, which are super valuable, but it's not the only way to connect
But
with
this
God.
is the first time that I've seen one
Yeah.
that says, hey, here's 9 ways to connect to God. Find your natural, inclination and go with it. And it's like, really? I mean, it's got me turned on about it. I mean, I guess I feel relief because I'm not changing anything I'm doing. I love to go running and walking. And by the way, if you've been wondering, running and walking, I run downhill 1.5 miles and then I walk uphill 1.5 miles.
See, and that's when he starts praying, is when he's going up the hill.
God help me!
Help me!
But no, it's just, that's why I run walk. I could run the whole thing, but I am not running uphill. So
Now, something I wanted to ask you was, obviously, I've been here 5 years, and I think it was right at that point was where you were
Yeah.
actively losing weight.
yeah.
Before that,
But
were
I
you
would walk.
you were still a traditional,
yeah.
or not traditionalist,
No, naturalist, yeah. And Kathy and I would walk together.
Right.
Again, I had 35 extra pounds on me, but staying active is key. So we would always walk 3 miles.
But so not say it wasn't exercise walking. You connecting to God was still outdoors.
Being outside.
Oh yeah,
Still
it's
felt
my
that.
favorite way.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if I run and walk alone, then I am talking to God.
Right.
If it's Kathy and I together, we're walking because she'd rather not run,
Right.
and I'm talking to her and she's talking to me. So, but there are other times.
Yeah.
Other things that are going through my mind right now. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta. Well, we're doing the marriage series on Sundays called The Knot, and
Yeah.
But no, and it really is. It is a relief. It's actually freeing to even be able to see these different. I mean, we all are one way. We're predominantly a naturalist, predominantly a traditionalist, and the others we're going to cover. But it is nice to know that there are other ways that we can connect with God too. That aren't maybe our natural style. We're in a situation we can connect with God this way, and it's maybe not a natural way, but I don't know. It's just interesting to know that God is so vast that we can connect with Him in a lot of ways.
And even though I didn't, in my assessment, didn't grade highest in naturalist, I still can absolutely see that in myself.
Yeah.
I still, take the dog out at night and look up in the sky. We were talking about this earlier, and just look at that and think God created all this, yet He chooses us.
Yeah.
And it's
as
just
small as
overwhelming.
we are.
Yeah.
And even the Word tells us, I mean, who is man that thou art mindful of him? Yeah, we're so small, if you think about it.
Didn't you say a week or two ago that Jesus embodied all of them. You know, as
Yeah,
far as-
Gary Thomas mentions
Yeah.
that, how Jesus was all 9. And that makes sense. He was God, man. And we are limited. So I have 3 that are pretty close. I mean, Naturalist was 25 out of 25. Intellectual, and I forget the other, were like 18, not too far. And then the others are a little more distant.
Yeah.
So I think we're all going to find there's like 3 that are kind of close.
Right. And then some that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
But anyways, I mean, if you haven't been out in a while, Wednesday nights, man, this is so good. It again is so liberating. It'll help you to enjoy the way you communicate with God. Just knowing the way you're doing it is okay. There is no biblical formula for prayer. And I know next week we're going to look at the ascetic and the activist and the caregiver. And the asceticism is extreme discipline. And that's the one that likes that 1 hour at 5 in the morning before they go in the car and go to work, or 3 hours if you're super spiritual.
and that fits in a book better.
Yeah,
You know?
it sold a lot of books over the years.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we don't want to be prayerless, and that's not what this is talking about.
Yeah.
This is finding your niche for really enjoying your time with God.
And like you said, the way you talked about that is somebody's niche.
Yeah.
Obviously, somebody's gonna do that assessment and score high in that.
Yeah, they love it. They
Yeah,
love being
yes,
alone. They
for
love
sure.
being cloistered. They
Yeah.
love just them and God. And it's not a legalistic attempt. They enjoy it.
Right.
So yeah, next week the ascetic, the activist, and the caregiver. So hope to see you next Wednesday night. And of course, this Sunday we're continuing with week number 3 on the knot, and it's the character of a wife. So hope to see you Sunday morning. God bless.